do this quick little live. I'm probably gonna be here with y'all, whatever. But it deserves to be. You know what? I'm gonna turn these headphones on. Give me a second, y'all. Let me get together because the wind is blowing where I'm at, and I want you guys to hear me clearly and thoroughly. So give me like 2 seconds. I ain't been live like a day or so. So let me take a moment and sit down with you guys. So give me a second. Let me put these headphones on so y'all can hear me clearly. There's a little wind out here, so I want you guys to be able to hear me clearly as I talk to you. So give me a second if you're just tuning in. I'll be right with you. Okay, guys, we are good. We are good. Give me 1 second, guys. I'm gonna share this. I'm gonna be completely with y'all. Y'all can hear me clear. Let me know if y'all can hear me clear in the chat room. Let me know if you can hear me clear in the chat room. I'll put the headphones on. So just give me 1 second, guys. I'm sharing this. Getting this out here. Just give me 1 second. Guys. Give y'all some commentary on Puff's defense. Just give me 1 second, guys. 1 second. All right, that's good enough. We'll share some more in a minute. All right, so check this out, right? I thought about it, and I had to sit back and I had to do some investigating for myself and everything like that. And I thought to the point, I said, well, where are we at now in this whole Diddy case and everything like that, or whatever the case may be, right? And I started coming under the formulation of a thinking pattern here. And let me explain to you what I mean. You know, almost every girl in this case, I've noticed, all has unilateral. Let me share this again. Almost every girl in this case, from my recollection, from suggestions of what the baby oil was for and all that stuff, blah, 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 blah. Every last one of these girls that's been mentioned in these accusations or whatever you want to call them, they all been able to use one thing. They've all been able to use, hold on guys, I'm going to move real quick. So y'all, can you guys hear me? Let me know in the chat room if y'all can hear me clearly. You understand? If y'all can hear me, let me know if y'all can hear me in the chat real quick. You know what I'm saying? Hold on 1 second. Can you guys hear me in the chat? Can you hear me in the chat, guys? Let me know if you can hear me. All right, cool, Mason. Thank you. So this is the thing for me. Puff is in on Sunday night. He entered into the defense, and he said, well, maybe I might have been partially rid of, you know, so inebriated that my insanity might be in question. And I say to that, there's a possibility. What's going on, B? I said, yeah, that's a heck of a possibility of that, because the last time I checked, every last one of these women in here from it being tainted baby oil, which has been in some of the suggestions, pills, concoctions of alcohol that were seemingly or allegedly given to these girls or whatever the case may be. What's going on, Chris? It appears to me that this excuse is good for those that are accusers, but it's not good for the accused. And that'll be up to Judge Sam Marinier to make his decision on this, like he's made his decision on Friday when I was there at the courtroom. Simultaneously, at that time, once again, under the nose and on the heels of one, who we call him? Luigi, which I'll get to him in a second. My point is, this excuse is good for the girls. I was inebriated. Therefore, my decisions were coerced. My decisions were in a fuel of I couldn't make right decisions because I was so inebriated. This is the excuse that the girls are using. They said that there were things that actually made them, you understand what I'm saying? Actually made them bend to the will of Diddy. Actually made them bend to the will of everything that he wanted. I'm not making fun of any of these girls. If these girls are right and these things did happen, then I'm not going to sit there and defend it. But what you must take in contention is this, and I'll say it again. In this situation, we have the court of public opinion, right? And with this court of public opinion, what's going on, Germany? With this court of public opinion, it seems like to me that some of these girls, as we found out here on social media, some of these girls are lying. Now, there's been several girls so far, and I'm not going to call out their names because every time I call out their names, it gives them some type of celebrity. But I will say this, there's been several girls on here, well, it's been known to you or not known to you, that have subsequently tried to include themselves in the situation when it comes comes to Diddy and everything that's going on with Diddy, and especially the lawsuits and the civil battle. We can all agree to that. We've seen these women. We've seen these women busted out. We've seen these women try to coattail. We've seen these women try to, straddle themselves along so they can get, of course, a couple $1,000s at the very least. You know what I'm saying? So it comes to me to ask the question. I ask again, if this excuse of these women were inebriated, so their judgment system was, if you want to say, askew or whatever word you want to use, then why is this excuse not good enough for Diddy? Now, I say if everybody was in there drunk equally, if everybody was in there inebriated equally, if everybody in there was messed up equally, as they say, right? What am I lying about? I love people like you. What am I lying about? Tell me what I'm lying about. Hold on, give me 1 second. Because we always have these people that come in like Jose and other people, and I'm particularly one particular vlogger that's out here that's sending her little troll community to everybody's different freaking page or whatever. Sweetheart, stop. I have no interest in talking about you. I don't want to be bothered with you. I told you I was done with it. I haven't joined no panels to talk. This is one woman, actually 3 or 4 women that come in here and this is what they do all day long. Like, you girls have got to find a hobby or something like that. What the fuck am I lying about? There's not even anything that I'm presenting to the public right now that's trying to persuade their opinion. I'm asking a question. So if you can't detect that, maybe you should not be spending time online. Maybe you should be spending time at a local collegiate institution, man. Now back to again. If this excuse is good for these girls who said they were inebriated, drunk, high, baby oil was put on them, etc., 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 why is the excuse not good for Diddy? That he was intoxicated, he was drunk, or whatever. I know for a fact this motherfucker used to have his morning vodka. I know for a fact this motherfucker used to have his morning brandy. I worked at the company for 17 years, so please be advised that I'm not somebody that's just talking about this shit to be talking about. This is real talk. And so when I say what I say it as someone that's down at the courtroom, as y'all guys saw me on Friday, simultaneously bouncing between 2 hearings going on. I was bouncing between Luigi and I was bouncing between Diddy's hearing. I asked the question, and I asked again, like I said, you got to realize a lot of these people that listen to you, they stuck in a warp. And so what they do is they have one stream of thinking. It's very different than the rest of society. So these people 300, 400 years ago that you see in my chat room right now, they would have been in town square with a pitchfork, a hanging rope, and some tiki torches and some pitchforks. And they would have been walking around, he's a witch, she's a witch. These would have been the same people. They're just online now, they're in the digital realm. So that trash that's in here in the chat room, just ignore them. You understand what I'm saying? Just ignore them. The difference between Diddy and the women is their intention. Well, let me tell you, let's speak about intentions then. Let's speak about intentions. I like your comment. I'm not going 3D to destroy. Let's talk about intentions. I worked in the music business for 17 freaking years. Most of y'all people that are here on my page, y'all are here on my page because of that, the particular company that I worked for. I went through 3 different distributors, including Interscope, Arista, and I started at BMG, Bertelsmann Music Group. It's a German conglomerate. Now, that was the first place that Puff actually had his biggest distribution under Clive Davis, and Arista Records was literally 3 floors up from us. Also in that building was Random House Publishing and 3 subsequent other groups of conglomerates, and somehow or another, whether in the vertical integration tier or synergy tier, they were also responsible for media in some relevant form or another, whether it be print, whether it be radio, whether it be television, either or. This was the environment I was in from the time I was 21 to I was 38 years old. So this is the environment I know. I came straight out of high school basically and went into that. So for me, my experience from going from city to city, staying at every hotel you could think of, from the Clevelander to the W, to all these different places, I would literally, like there's usually about, let's say 10 events every year, right? This is the real way it go versus the way y'all think it go. Usually like 10 big events, Memorial Day weekend, All-Star weekend, Super Bowl, What else? NCAA weekend. What else? Trying to think. And there's a couple more, but those are usually the regular ones. I'm trying to think, but those are usually the regular ones everybody goes to. And if you have been going to those events from the times I was there for this almost 2 decades, 17 years, you would start to notice probably at the year 2 or 3 that you would start to, thank you, Javon, you would start to notice, hey, the same girls are down here. Hey, didn't I just see you in Miami just like a couple months ago? Yeah, I'm out here now, you know what I'm saying? Because it was different. Girls, yes, they were investing themselves on Facebook, on MySpace back then, like Cat Stacks, she utilized that. But, and I'm gonna get into Cat Stacks in a minute too. But you know what I'm saying? This is the funny thing. These same girls were going to these different celebrations, if you want to say, with intention. Thank you, Bangladesh, with intention. Now, the intention was a come up. Now, let me explain to you what I mean. Because a lot of times we paint the picture that these girls were so innocent and so trustworthy or whatever. And sorry to say, with this saying it plain sense, no, these bitches wasn't. No, they wasn't. And listen, I know good girls. I know good girls. And most men, no matter what it is, knows a good girl too. You know it automatically when you speak to her. You also know a girl with evil intentions, right? When you speak to her, if you're a smart man, you better know, because if you don't know, you're gonna spend the next couple years finding out. You understand? Now, with that being said, I say this. These girls, they were going from event to event. They were going from city to city trying to get shows. And they would bust down, they would do whatever they had to get into these magazines, to get a chance to be in the video, to get a chance, because the game was different then. The game back then was you had to hustle on foot. You understand what I'm saying? The game now is digitally. These girls can hop online, take a couple pictures, throw a Cash App in front of it or whatever, throw their OnlyFans link. Next thing you know, within 3 or 4 nights, that chick has got about 16 or 17 suckers and is signed up for $7.99 a month. She on her way already. And that sucker, he's gonna tell, that's what you are. If you got multiple, if you subscribe to multiple OnlyFans accounts as a man, you a sucker. I'm sorry. Listen, you could be donating your money to a girl right now going to Harvard University, going to Yale University, or something like that. So these girls, they used to go from city to city to city to city, and this is how they got down. And a lot of people leave that out of the conversation. If you need example, go ask Melissa Ford over there with Joe Buttons. Joe Buttons used to be under us. He was part of Revolt. Go ask her. If you don't believe me, go ask Gloria Velez. Ask people how they left Cuba Lust down there in Miami. There was a beautiful girl. Her name was Cuba Lust or something like that. Anyway, this girl, very dark-skinned girl. How you doing, little baby? This girl, very little, very beautiful girl. She was one of the what's her name models. One of the video vixens or whatever. Cubana Lust, that's her name. Cubana Lust. Go check out. It might be her, or I'm saying it wrong, but her name has Cuban in it or whatever. She ended up being on drugs real bad, and everybody knows she's on drugs. And they left her, and that's the sense of a lot of these girls. Why do I bring this up? Because a lot of them girls come from that period of 2004 up until 2012-ish or whatever, maybe even going into 2013, 14. But these girls were print models. They wasn't digital models, they were print models. And they were in things like Straight Stunt Magazine or whatever, and a couple other different magazines that were out there. What's other ones? King Magazine, all those publications that are now still in print, but nobody does print anymore. Everybody utilizes the digital aspect of the digital world. So that's why print is slowly, I won't say it's gonna be extinct in our lifetime, but sooner or later, I think the value will go up in print, whether it's literature or whatever the case may be. Yeah, I got a whole bunch of stories, but give me a second here, because I want to put this in the heads of a lot of women. A lot of these girls also were in their 20s, early 30s, and some of them were old broads too. But anyway, long story short, these girls were in their mistake-making times, their hustling years, their years of, you know what I'm saying? Let me go out here and be a vigilante with the vajay. Let me make some mistakes. Let me look, same stuff the girls say now in their 20s. Let me go be a hoe right now. That's how some of the girls say it, right? That's what they say online. Let me go, I had my hoe phase. That's how it goes. And that's what these girls did. They had their whole phase. And their whole phase came with opportunities. And those opportunities were being in a video, being part of a crew, being part of a touring crew, being part of a whole bunch of shit. And these girls took advantage of it, including Melissa Ford. Tell her I said that shit. Oh, please tell her I said that shit. Puff Daddy said, can't stop, won't stop. Won't with the JP. You notice ain't nobody laughing, right? I'll give him a second. Y'all marinate on his joke. You've been here for 12 years and got 12 subscribers. That means you averaged 1 subscriber for every 12 years. Before I started going live, I had more than 12 subscribers. Bye. 12 subscribers in 12 years. You ain't exactly set the world on fire. I love when people like that in my chat room. Give me a second, guys. I'm getting the people out of my chat room talking crazy. Somebody talking about a fire alarm. Oh, this is cute. Somebody in here talking about a fire alarm. What else you guys starting here talking about? What a shit story. Thanks, RC. Yeah, that, you know, let's ignore reality. Somebody in here wrote Diddy is life. You guys are crazy. How do you know what Diddy's behavior is? What's his name? 3D the Destroyer. How do you know what his behavior was? You're going off of what what's the name? A prosecutor is presenting. So how do you know what his behavior was? Do you know him in firsthand? Have you ever been around Diddy? Have you ever been around the music industry? Which is often the question I ask to a lot of these guys. Have you ever been in the music industry? If your answer is no, then I would ask you, wouldn't that mean that everything that you're saying is under speculation terms? It has really no bearing. And I even emphasize what I mean. Regardless of what you may say, make fun of me, pop jokes at me or whatever, one thing I'm not doing for any of you motherfuckers is letting my time that I put in that company go to motherfucking shame for nothing. You understand what I'm saying? And if it is, and what I want to do is give him a fair turn. And the question I asked and I raised was, yeah, now he put in a motion on Sunday. I don't know why he did that, but on Sunday he put in a what's the name? Hold on one second. He put in a motion on Sunday to get what he wanted out of this, which I think is understandable. Hey, I was inebriated. They caught me on drugs. There was a whole diatribe about baby oil. Even today, somebody wrote that in here. They said there was drugs in the baby oil. Remember that? Y'all rolled along with that. Y'all rolled, so that means the girls were inebriated, right? They were under duress. They were drugged up. Anything could have happened, right? And anything could have been facilitated when you have a whole bunch of people drunk or whatever. Pup used to wake up with his morning vodka, all right? I don't know how much I can emphasize it. I'm going to pull up a video I put up one time or whatever, and I was just joking about it, but a lot of people didn't know. Pup used to wake up with his morning vodka. You understand what I'm saying? And so, and this is the truth. All thing you got to do is go find someone that, one of these old videos or whatever. Give me 1 second. I'm just skating off lean. Let me tell you something real quick. What's your name? Magic Hobo. That's cute. That's cute. These guys are creative. Magic Hobo. How about this? There's a whole video on my page. This goes to show how goofy you are. About 2 weeks ago, for my long-term fans and people been here messing with me. I'm in one of the best facilities, acquiesced by a friend of mine in the state of Connecticut. And I just left the dentist like 2 weeks ago. Literally, I just left the dentist like 2 weeks ago. And not a regular dentist like you go to. So with that being said or whatever, next time you throw something in here or try to throw some jokes in here, throw something in here that makes sense. You know what I'm saying? Throw something in here that makes sense. I hear you. I hear you. He said get a refund. Silly niggers. Tricks are for kids. Anyway, continue the story here. Oh, they love to come in and interrupt. That's what they do. Yeah, at least be funny. This one absolutely didn't just hear what I said. My friend. How many people in this chat room? See, they trying to circumnavigate the conversation. These are what you call your black media terrorists that be up on here. But we're not going to get into them right now. Anyway, long story short, that's how they do. They won't ever be in any racist or anti-Luigi Maggione polls, but they make sure every time they see someone that's of color, they got to show up. So anyway, long story short, I just said, and everybody just heard me say, there is a video literally on my page as of 2 weeks ago where I did a whole live at the dentist. Literally, did a whole live at the dentist. And so we taking up our thing. Part I getting at is this. Why is it, and this is what I mean even when it goes into Diddy, have you not noticed how black Americans feel like they facilitate the rest of the culture and what they do and how they do as if we're friends? If I had teeth going sideways and one was going up my fucking nostril, what fucking business is it of yours? And why the fuck do you think I would actually give a fuck about somebody from your tier and their opinions about any fucking thing in life? Did you not hear? Maybe you just tuned in. I worked for a record company since I was 21 fucking years old up until I was 38, all right? 21 until I was 38. You understand what I'm saying? Most of the motherfuckers that's talking to me, their work history is inclusive of fucking Dunkin' Donuts or Starbucks. You understand what I'm saying? That's the funny thing about it. They come in, they try to be funny. Nobody in my motherfucking chat room is laughing. That's why you're wasting your time or your jokes. But more importantly enough, if you're gonna pop jokes, at least listen. At least listen. You understand what I'm saying? Let's get this one out of here. Give me a second, y'all. Let me get the clowns. I have this one particular female vlogger that she is out of her fucking mind. How many cheers do I have? What the fuck is this motherfucker talking about? They are weird. What's going on, man? This ain't Victoria, England. This is silly motherfuckers. Motherfucker told me, can he pet the dog? Yo, y'all don't have nothing to do, huh? See, my page is monetized. I got products you can purchase. I got a cash app right there. I'm making money. If you in my motherfucking chat room right now and you trying to interrupt the conversation to pitch your narrative and it's 12:54, that means you ain't got your mind on money. You got your mind on nothing but money. And you make up that group that I always talk about here on YouTube that's sitting at home with a PlayStation 5 controller in their mouth. Bye-bye. You got mad. Yeah, facts. They straight goofies, real life. Like, that shit is crazy to me. It's 12:54 in the evening. You at home writing like comments in my chat. That's somebody got some issues, bro. You ain't got shit going on, huh? At least I'm trying to make bread. Guys, make sure y'all hit up the Cash App, $STRINGERBELL80. You're not gonna come up here and insult me and I'm at everything y'all talking about. The shit they be talking about online, it'd be crazy, right? Let me just get to this real quick. Friday, y'all saw me bounce back and forth, and I had to edit the video. So I edited the video. It'll be back up as soon as this is done or whatever. It's already finished. I had the signal for it before. Hey, AKA Productions, I got the signal for that it was already complete from editing. But this is the thing, right? Friday, I was at the Luigi and the Diddy hearing. I was bouncing between both of them. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. I was bouncing between both of them. These people that are online, that they defending and everything else, these people are so silly that they don't even realize, not for a second, yo, this guy is actually at the hearing while these people are in their town, wherever in America, talking about the same hearing. But I'm not going to donate to that guy or support that guy because I don't like the fact that he's a guy in most cases. I thought it was racism. No, it's actually genderism. A lot of these girls don't like the fact that you're a guy. You understand what I'm saying? And so with that being said, I had 3 people, and I got to bring this up. I had 3 people that donated to me, but at one point I had over 367 people in my chat room. Now, tell me I'm wrong or tell me something's off here, but I went off the other day. And I don't hold none of it back. I do think there's some sabotaging. As y'all see, every time I go live, there's somebody in my chat room trying to destroy my chat room, trying to interrupt the conversation when I'm talking about Puff. But had nothing, absolutely nothing to say about Luigi Mangione. And Luigi Mangione has managed to raise over $500,000 for his defense. Luigi Mangione at the courthouse, and I'm going to clip it and put it up for you. He had trucks riding around the block with his face superimposed on it. I put this on camera, and nobody in my chat room that was African American had a goddamn thing to say about it. There were protesters out there that were not only asking for money, but had signs clear up in the air that I interviewed one of them. I hope you guys go check that out. There's one of them that I interviewed, and I caught her dead red-handed. She was telling me all this stuff. They were filing for habeas corpus, for Luigi Mangione, and all this or whatever. Even when she was talking, nobody said nothing, and they can hear her clearly. And they said nothing. She was defending Luigi Mangione, a person that we saw on tape, every last one of us, kill someone and take their life. Now let's double it back, right? With that being said, this girl followed it up. When I asked her, I said, okay, well, I got one final question for you. Even with, and I gave her a benefit of the doubt. I said to her, and if y'all seen the video, y'all know what I'm talking about, because I clipped it and I put it up, and I had it inclusive in my live that I did from the courthouse. Now, when I got on camera, I asked her one question and she couldn't answer it, and she played dumb with me. She said, "Oh, I'm sorry, I couldn't hear." I said, "Well, what do you think about the actual act? Outside of the fact that he may or may not be able to get off of this trial based on the fact that they didn't read him his Miranda rights." That was her argument. They didn't read him his Miranda rights. My argument was we all saw this man, Luigi Mangione, kill someone. Now, I'm getting this in comparison to Puff because it's a whole bunch of comparisons. One, he's in the same jail facility as Puff. Two, unlike Puff, he's been able to raise money, and all of us saw this man murder someone. All of us saw it. There's another video on my page. The day that he did it, I'm down there filming. You understand? So with that being said, I noticed that, and I really do believe this is because this is a white man. Nobody has nothing in the black community to say about Luigi Mangione, even when his face right up in your face. But you got all the action and all the smoke for Puff. And Puff didn't kill nobody. That's the point I'm getting at. Puff didn't kill nobody. Yes, he beat on Cassie. We all know that. But Cassie's still alive. Cassie's still showing up. And he didn't beat Cassie to the point which Cassie would die. You understand what I'm saying? But he said he went too far. Okay. So did Luigi Mangione go too far? I just want to hear one hypocritical black person say that. I'm a racist. How am I a racist? I'm talking to my people. How am I a racist when the man he killed was white? You sound stupid. You sound stupid. I'm the one that was down there the day that he shot Brian and killed Brian. It's literally on my page. Put my name in, put Luigi Mangione. You need to do your research before you open your mouth, because a lot of times you can sound stupid when you're trying to sound like you're intelligent. My point is, I've been covering this simultaneously with the Puff thing, and nobody has anything to say about Puff, but everybody got everything to say about Puff, but nothing to say about Luigi Mangione. And I'm just trying to figure out, why is this? Why is this? Why is this? Why is this? Why is it that as of 2 months ago, I was in front of the MDC, which is a prison that Luigi Mangione and Diddy, after I finished being down there, and I did a live, and at that time, I said the same thing. Why is Luigi Mangione able to raise $500,000? But then the white community, the same ones that donated in small increments, because there don't no niggas donating to Luigi Mangione, not in bulk anyway. They were able to raise $500,000 from this man 2 months ago, but complain about Carmelo Anthony raising any money, these same people online, in a racist fashion. You understand what I'm saying? So it brings me to an example to start thinking of things and saying, yo, there's something wrong here. There's something wrong. You understand what I'm saying? Except for my funds to be deposited, got you. You ain't got a lot of kicking, homie. There's no what's the name. Hey, look, man, I'll say it to you a million times, right? And if y'all want to hear me, you want to hear me. When I hear a man come up into somebody else's chat and the first thing you're doing is looking at another man's mouth, I'm trying to wonder, what is your intentions? What are your intentions? Like, am I supposed to be, like, you got me fucked up, bro. All right, listen. Grab yourself, Dabby. Keep your constitution. For some wild reason or another, right? The reason I'm bringing all this up is because African American community is skewed. Not only on this issue, but on many issues. You say you fight for racism and you fight against racism or whatever the case may be, but you're not even listening to what I'm saying. What you're doing is you got men in here, grown men, and this is why they can't be leaders. They'll always be followers. This is why you follow behind women. See, the secret is in the source for all the real ones up in here. You understand? Notice a lot of these men that are in here cracking jokes and whatever, they're in here under the directive of a woman. Oh yeah, they're in here under the directive of a woman. A woman has told them, you need to go over there and in defense of me, you need to stand up for me because he said something about me. Not that he said anything bad, not that he said anything that was impending, that could cause some damage or whatever. We need to go over there and troll. And a lot of times it'd be the same motherfuckers complaining about people trolling them. I have people in the chat room right now, see what I mean? And the other half of them are just slow. Huh? I can't compare Luigi to Diddy, why not? Tell me why I can't compare Luigi to Diddy. Go ahead and tell me why, and I'll tell you why. Tell me why I can't compare Luigi to Diddy. Yo, peace, God. We don't do that shit in here. I want La Diva Elk to tell me why we can't compare Luigi Margione to Diddy. The state of New York thought so. They put him in the same prison. Some other nigga talking about something in my mouth. Yo, you sound like moist as hell. Please pay attention. All these niggas in here trolling, they ain't got no life. They ain't got no life, son. I'm trying to tell you. You up in here talking. These are men. Look at this nigga. His name is Ray D. This is a man. This is a man. At 1 o'clock in the evening, this is what he's talking about. If you scrolled up, I told people I'm mad at Diddy because they think he did it. That's not why they mad at Diddy. Diddy hasn't been charged, Puff hasn't been charged with anything involving kids. There's nothing in conclusion. Prosecutors haven't brought anything up with kids or whatever. So at this point, it's a figure of your imagination and your gossiping or whatever. If you can prove it, show up in court, testify. Right? So I'm trying to figure out, and I'll say again, homegirl in here said that I can't compare Diddy to Luigi Margione. I'm asking why. Why? La Diva Elk, you got a case right now pending with Justin Bieber and Usher. You notice something about black Americans? Pay attention. They won't condemn white Americans even if they see somebody. This lady is basically La Diva Elk. She's basically saying you can't compare Diddy to what's the name to this guy Luigi Margione. I said why? She still hasn't explained that. She won't explain it. You know why? Because subconsciously in their head they are shown and have to show, how can I say, empathy towards the same motherfucker that they claim is abusing. This is Stockholm Syndrome on a digital format right here. Y'all gotta pay attention to it. They're not in here complaining about any black child that may have been sexually assaulted or anything. They use their example for sexual assault when it comes to young men for Justin Bieber, young white man for Canada. Y'all better start paying attention to these niggas. None of y'all paid attention to that? I'll say it again. They have no judgment points. Even when I was there in person, they had no comments. And I spent more time covering, at that time, I covered more time. No, you had your chance. No, you're not paying attention, sweetheart. I said to you once again, and don't pretend like you're smart. I don't like people that pretend like they're smart because you wasn't smart enough to be attentive enough to convey your feelings after I've given you now 6 times. I asked you why on Luigi Margione and Diddy's cases, why did you say I can't compare Diddy to Luigi Margione? Now I'm asking you a question and you still won't answer it. You answering everything else. Luigi Margione's family's got money and power. Luigi Margione has raised $500,000 for his defense. What are you talking about, Daphne? Huh? Regardless of what the outcome you might want it to be, the fact remains this. One is a murder. A murder that you saw just as much as you saw Puff beat on Cassie, You saw this man with your own 2 eyes take this man out. What are we talking about? We talking about Luigi Maggione, Daphne, you slow motherfucker. Anyway, I try to tell you, most of these people that sitting here talking with me, the majority, I say 60% of them not that intelligent. So they want you to go and talk like the people that they used to listening to. You understand what I'm saying? So the people they used to listening to have a certain octave and tone. That tone is usually very ghetto. That tone is very usually, what do you call it, presumptuous. That tone is very much construed in conspiracy theories or whatever. You understand what I'm saying? It's never based on fact. And you can throw a million laughing emojis in here, that automatically lets you know right then and there you got a motherfucker, because you can't argue. You couldn't even write in here why Luigi Maggione and Diddy are different. And you still won't explain that, will you? You never will explain that. This girl doesn't get the point. It's not about comparing. It's about the eyes of the public. The eyes of the public. Now, since you're a little slow, let me help you out here. No, you just slow. That's all. You just slow. That's all. Anyway, long story short, because I got a lot of slow people here. Hold on, let me see if I can get some of my intelligent. Slow, you won't keep up with the conversation. I expect that. Slow people can't never keep up with conversations. What you want me to do is you want me to reinvigorate the conversation from the start point so you can catch up. When really the only thing you got to do is just bring that band back that's streaming on channel right now. Bring that band back, and then you can catch up. And then fast forward it and then come back and catch up. We ain't stopping the motherfucking story for you when you ain't donating shit any goddamn way, you motherfucker. Explaining shit to a bitch. I don't depend on a woman for nothing. I don't re-explain myself for shit. If the bitch can't swim, she gonna drown. I ain't got time to re-explain to you why you need a life preserver on, bitch. Now, once again, let me start from where I was at. On Friday, children, for those not privy, and those writing that bullshit, not for my dedicated audience, is cool as fuck. But for those that are not privy, on Friday, I attended both the Diddy hearing and I attended the Luigi Maggione hearing. And if I'm a goofy ass Daphne, where the fuck were you at on Friday, Daphne? What was your Friday spent, Daphne? It definitely wasn't spent working, because bitch, you in here on my live talking to me. Now, let's ask Daphne. Daphne, where were you at on Friday? Daphne wrote in here, free Luigi. There it goes. That's who you were the whole time. See what I mean? You gotta find out who's who. She wrote free Luigi in here. Let's make sure we check that out. Free Luigi, she wrote in my chat room. Y'all think I'm lying? I told you they'd be hiding. Daphne must have showed up because Daphne saw that post I put up. But Daphne wasn't aware that I don't give a fuck about you, bitch. Shut up, bitch. Anyway, she gone, y'all. She gone. She gone. Don't worry about the riffraff. She gone. The bitch said free Luigi. Yeah, I don't know what the fuck is wrong with them motherfucking CJ Morales. I said the same thing. But now y'all know, you saw the bitch went out, she said she was trying to condemn Puff, but put free the murderer. She want to put condemn, focus with me, smart people. She wrote, let's throw Puff in jail. Oh, you saw about me? I hear you, CJ Morales, that's what's up. He said, CJ Morales said, this is why I hate Gen X sometimes. They always thinking they smarter because of age. You know, you just a little slow, bro. Peace. Peace, God. Peace. Peace. How y'all feel about this? Somebody wrote in my chat room, free Luigi. Any thoughts? Anybody? No thoughts? Nobody cares? So do me a favor. Since you don't want to talk about the murderer, Don't talk about the accused sexual assaulter anymore. Since you don't want to talk about the sexual assaulter from Immigrant, bitch, why is your mind focused just on Puff? If your modus operandi and your premise here, you say it's sexual assault. It's not if it's Puff, it's not if it's this person, it's not if it's that person, it's if it's a sexual assaulter, right? If you're smart, you're starting to see what I'm talking about. These niggas only got smoke for other niggas. They ain't got smoke for the white boys. Punk motherfuckers, sucker ass niggas. You understand what I'm saying? These niggas ain't got no smoke for nobody but their own. Y'all niggas is cowards. That's why I talk to y'all niggas like they suckers. You niggas is cowards. Y'all let that bitch right in our chat room, free Luigi, but sit here and talk shit about Puff. And y'all ain't say nothing. You niggas is some suckers. Word up. Straight sucker ass niggas. Not everybody. The niggas is some suckers. And that's what I deal with in this chat room, suckers. Suckers that come in here talking shit at 1 o'clock in the evening. Nigga, you supposed to be out getting money. I'm trying to get money right now. Guys, make sure y'all hit up the Cash App, $STRINGERBELL8 It's down below, pinned under Javon's name. I've been preaching that same shit. I'm going to keep on preaching about this Luigi Maggione character. All right? You ain't got the same smoke for the white boys as you got for the motherfucking niggas, then that shit just bothered me. That shit just bothered me. You know what I'm saying? That shit just bothered me. Another nigga in here lied about Cash Apps. Look, bro, if you ain't got no money, to say you ain't got no money. Obviously, you ain't working right now. I'm working. This is just what go with me. So you can go down below. You can buy some products. You can hit the like button. You can hit share. You can do whatever you like there. But don't interrupt my podcast telling people that you sent some money and you ain't send a dime, G. Y'all all make sure to go to this guy's page right here and let him know we don't play that sucker shit. You ain't got a lot to kick it, homie. Niggas lying on Cash Apps now. That shit crazy. When we start lying about Cash Apps, niggas that got that down, huh? Y'all lying about Cash Apps now? That's crazy. Y'all gotta grow up, bro. You gotta grow up. You gotta grow up. We don't lie about Cash Apps, bro. That just make you look like the broke nigga. That just make you look, it don't make me look like the broke dude. It make you look like the broke dude. I'm working. And see, that's the thing with me. I don't like these guys that are online and they sit in their bedroom or they sit in their kitchen and they're able to say whatever they want to say or whatever the case may be. And they're able to do, or like this goofy guy right here. Bro, you're smoking a cancer stick. A keep. Motherfucker. It is 1:15. How come you ain't out making money instead of writing quirky things to another man in the chat room? Go find you a boyfriend, nigga. Fulfill your destiny. And you've been on here for 6 years and got 17 subscribers, you fucking loser. And back to what I was saying, right? This is the thing. Pay attention to this live and what went down in this live. You got suck-ass men in here. You got suck-ass women in here. One woman went as far as to write free Luigi Maggione. But they upset and they mad at Puff. Pay attention. They upset and they mad at Puff for putting in a key cause of insanity when y'all know that Puff was on drugs. Y'all know that listen, man, you gotta skip me with that fucking ghetto shit. I don't grow up in the ghetto. I don't live in the ghetto. All them combinations of, ooh, he mad and all that 5th grade shit, that shit don't work for me, bro. That shit don't work for me. They sat here and they defend Luigi Maggione, but they say condemn Puff. That doesn't make sense to me. Not only does it not make sense, it sounds retarded. And it sounds like it's centered. So you're not upset, and I found this out when I was covering the case on Friday. I'm right here at the courtroom. Y'all are seeing me cover this shit. I'm bouncing back between Puff and Luigi Maggione's case, on person, on foot, in person, right there. And as these people are seeing the protesters, there's protesters out there for Luigi Maggione, right? And so these protesters, they have up signs, free Luigi Maggione. These protesters, they're asking for donations. These protesters are asking for a lot of things or whatever. You understand what I'm saying? And so it's funny to me because I'm sitting back and I'm looking at this stuff and I'm like, okay, when I go over to Puff's hearing, right? Because I was bouncing back and forth between both of them. When I'm going to Puff's hearing, Nobody's saying anything, right? I mean, everybody's saying everything. But when I bounce it over Luigi Mangiaro's hearing, and everybody's seeing these signs, these protesters, and everything else, nobody's saying nothing that's in my chat room. Nobody's saying nothing. I have this lawyer on my camera giving his statement. Had to say nothing. These black people and a whole bunch of white ones, they only go after people that are black. And I'm proving my point more and more. The blacks that are on here, they use as an excuse or as a premise for sexual assault, and it involve young people, which the stories are made up. But the point is, they use their example as who? Justin Bieber. They don't use any black kid. They don't talk about any black kid. They use Justin Bieber repeatedly over and over and over and over. But Justin Bieber, poor Justin Bieber. Y'all never hear him say that? They don't ever say no poor black kid or nothing like that or whatever. They always say, poor Justin Bieber. And they'll reiterate it. Nigga tears. That's what I call them, nigga tears. Oh, you say they're white tears. That's nigga tears too. Nigga tears. Nigga tears. I live in a mostly white area, bro. Y'all want to see my area? This is my reality right here. This is not New York. Understand me? This is not New York. This is where I live at. So when I say this and I say everything that I say it with the intention of this. There's something wrong in the mix right now. I don't know what it is. I don't care what it is. And you guys have the right to believe whatever the fuck you want to believe. But the fact remains of this. You guys have an issue with being empathetic to others before you're empathetic to your own. You guys have an issue with wanting to condemn your own before you're ready to condemn others. You guys have an issue of going around and support motherfuckers that don't want more than sit in their bedroom or their kitchen and make up lies and make up whatever they want to throw in the face of the public anytime that they want to. You guys sit around and collectively tell people in the black community don't donate to certain black podcasters because they feel this way or they got a different opinion of us. You guys have collectively become tribalists. So when you have these little Negro discussions, that's what I like to call them, Negro discussions, because they're not bent off anything. See, you motherfuckers are invested in the maybes. I'm invested in the outcome. Simple as that. Some guy named Mark called me the unemployment boss. Mind you, he's sitting up here watching me. What does that mean by you? You're watching me. Just say you ain't got no money, homie, that's all. You ain't got a lot to kick it. Somebody Foxtown Road, I am racist. That's what's up, man. That's what's up. You are racist. That's what's up. Yeah, the community here on YouTube is horrible. No, man, it seems like the bulk of people on YouTube nowadays are just like mentally fucking ill. Like, seriously. Like, you guys ever get that feeling like the majority of people on YouTube nowadays are like literally mentally fucking ill? Because I do. I don't know. It's like, it's fucking weird nowadays, bro. You get on here and you get people that are like literally say anything, and it's like, what time is it? 1 o'clock in the evening or whatever the case may be? And you guys are like saying anything. Like, it's just crazy. Not sticking to the subject. Not doing anything else, but just creating, you know what I'm saying? Situations where it's like, esto finito, no? È finito, pana. Esto está bien ahí, Sam. ¿Tú quieres espacio? ¿Tú quieres espacio?
Yeah.
Ok, yo
Pero no now.
No ahora.
In 15 minutes.
Oh, está bien, en 20 minutos. Gracias. All right. So, yeah, I can finish. I'm going to finish this up in like 10 minutes anyway. My point was, you guys can hear me a little bit clearer. He had headphones on because he had that loud machine on. My point is this. There's definitely some differences that people choose to pick when it comes to this situation with Luigi Mangione and Diddy. People are mad right now because Diddy put an insanity plea in on Sunday. This motion hasn't even been passed or given or whatever. We will find out. But my point is, when it is or if it is given, my issue is this. Why are people so up in arms and so quick to make You understand what I'm saying? Judgments with that, but have nothing to say about the murderer, Luigi Margione. And I was at both of them's hearing on Friday and got disrespected like a motherfucker. Like, I'm starting to figure out where that's coming from too. I'm starting to figure out that, like, I got 2 or 3 bloggers that follow me, right? And what they do is every time that I go live, they get an alert that I go live. I'm gonna find out who it is, but they get an alert that I go live. So what they do is they share my live with their people, and then their people come in and harass you or whatever. Real low ball, you know what I'm saying? This will be the same type of person that'll be sitting on live, right? Talking about, I'm so upstanding, I'm a great person, and Jesus loves me, and the God of blood, God don't fuck with you, bitch. Shout out to Arizona. God don't fuck with people like that. The devil do. God don't fuck with people like that. I got people jealous of me for all types of reasons, so I got that out the park. We good with that. But because a lot of them motherfuckers wish they were me. And for anybody that's been talking about online, they gonna do this, they gonna do that, or whatever. The gangsters and the killers or whatever, that's what's up, man. Which city? This is Connecticut. This is where I live at. Yeah, it's Connecticut, B. Shout out to Arizona. What's going on? He said shout out to Arizona. What's going on, Empty? What's popping? Yeah, I'm just real confused why people got all the smoke for Diddy but don't have no smoke for the shooter. That's a weird situation, right? Like, let's put up a theory. I think it's gender based. Had Luigi Margione took out a woman instead of Brian, would you have more empathy? I ain't hard. You ain't got a life. Why you in my chat room? You can't think that possibly I'm gonna be scared of a nigga with the last name Cream, right? You out your motherfucking mind. You out your mind. A nigga named Cream. Cream where, sweetheart? If you got to hide and you got a fake profile, no, you scared of me. It's all good. You bitch. Anyway, long story short, you notice that all the African American niggas got everything else to say in here except something about Luigi Margione. You know they won't talk about Luigi Margione, right? The Cream nigga, he wouldn't talk about Luigi Margione. He wanted to say something to me. You understand what I'm saying? He wanted to say something to me. You sweet motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? Many black people, especially black women, have a loyalty, a high order to. There we go. Finally, somebody. That's what I'm getting at. That's what I'm getting. Now I got somebody in here that's talking. Now I got somebody in here with a fucking brain. I knew it would take a minute to show up, some of y'all. Know what I'm saying? I gotta be DMX cousin. Thank you. I appreciate the compliment. God bless the almighty DMX, BX, Harlem. You understand what I'm saying? Because he lived in both. They got all the smoke for their own, but they ain't got none of the smoke for Luigi Margione. Ain't that weird? Ain't that suspicious? Now, I told everybody, and you guys saw it on the live on Friday, I was down there and I was bouncing back and forth between Luigi Margione's hearing and Diddy's hearing at the same time, simultaneously. And as I was bouncing back and forth between both of them, I noticed in the chat room that everybody had all the smoke and was making fun of and throwing jokes about Puff, but nobody had anything to say about Luigi Margione. And I'm like, well, I'm covering both of them. You know what I mean? I'm literally, like, when I say covering both of them, I mean, I was going from one courthouse to the next courthouse covering the whole thing. And I noticed when I was in here that everybody, when I got to the Puff portions, I got Mark Aglifilio here on camera and everybody else and the whole team. I was noticing that everybody had all the smoke for Puff when I was talking about Puff portion of the live, but they had nothing to say whatsoever about Luigi Margione. He literally had protesters and 2 vans that were riding around simultaneously, as I showed you guys on camera, with his face superimposed on the side of him, which were paid for by funds, I'm sure, with the $500,000 he raised, to ride past the courtroom. Now, Puff, let's not even say Puff. If a nigga, I'm gonna go culture with y'all. If a nigga had rolled around the block with Puff's face superimposed on the side of the van and had said, yo, Puff is innocent, And there were cops out there that saw, you hear at one point, one of the cops that knows me, he told me, he said, hey, move back, safety now. Because he saw me filming the shit. He couldn't believe it either. Niggas had nothing to say. The Sound of Freedom came along the same time the Barbie movie. Can you guess which did better at the box office? I don't know, but you can go fuck a duck. How about that? You goofy motherfucker. In here, motherfucker. Some of y'all niggas is straight up lose. Y'all showing y'all lose. About y'all confirming. That's what y'all niggas don't get. There's a partition of people that are here on YouTube that are just full-time trolls because they're not creative. They can't vlog. They like, listen, there's some people that the tiers here on YouTube between the subscribers will blow your mind. Like, for example, you got one group of subscribers, their thing is information gathering. Then you got another group of subscribers, their job post is just being the rowdy one in the chat room. Then you got another group of subscribers that their thing is just talking shit about anybody and everybody and go up podcast to podcast to podcast to podcast to podcast, doing it. Never becoming a blogger, just becoming a subscriber to talk about other bloggers. You understand what I'm saying? Like, I know all the games, man. I've been here for 5 years. I ain't just show up here. You understand? He said, what a hood at. I appreciate it. Guys, make sure y'all hit that Cash App, $STRINGERBELL80. They'll try to tell you, the haters, only the bloggers that sit in their bedrooms, in their bathrooms, in their kitchens deserve Cash Apps. Only the bloggers that are females that gossip about everybody but don't never be nowhere. Those are the ones that deserve. This is what a lot of people in the African American community will tell you because they are fixated on women. They are fixated on women. So, you understand what I'm saying? Like, I don't know how to explain it. I don't go too far into it. You know what I'm saying? But I can't be around men that can be easily led by women. I just can't do it. And I can't be around men that's trying to discourage other men. But you know how bad it is out here, especially you a man of color, a nigga coming in here and doing everything he could possibly do to make sure another man don't make no money. That's a bitch ass nigga. You understand what I'm saying? That's the epitome of a bitch ass nigga. There's a lot of these bitch ass niggas that be online. They be talking all kinds of shit or whatever. Son, my rap sheet 8 pages long, my nigga. I put in work. You understand what I'm saying? And the niggas I fuck with, like, nigga, trust me, you fucking with some gorillas. A lot of niggas talk that shit. I'm telling you straight up and down. I'm warning you. You don't want to come at me like that. I'm trying to tell you, my nigga. Like, listen. Homie, you be looking at me and these niggas, the first thing they do is they think, yo, he's black like me, da. No, yo soy la cubano, pana. Entonces, saben, yo estoy en la Landrica conmigo, entonces, saben, yo estoy en la gente en la barrios, pero en Bronx, Harlem, entonces, sabes, en la Torre, en los 5. Entonces, tiene problemas para la gente, para los machete, entonces, saben, dominicanos, las Honduras, entonces, saben, su cara en su mente. So, cámate, papá. Cámate ahora, entonces, sabes. No hablo conmigo, entonces, sabes, en Bunton Chevro, pero la Bronx. Tú sabes, ¿no? Yo soy siempre en la barrio. Siempre en la barrio. Yeah, it's like some crazy shit. Like this bitch ass nigga in here talking about some clown shit. Like, nigga, you don't even have, you don't have nothing going on. He's been here 10 months and got 41 subscribers. So that means he's trying to build a page. So you have these other subscribers, they'll come into people like are more popular than them, like myself, because I can't even remember when I had 14 subscribers. God damn, that's pathetic. You been on here for that long? You ain't trying nothing. But anyway, a lot of these guys that are subscribers, want to be bloggers, they don't have their pages monetized like myself. They don't make no money off this. So when their job is to get online and everybody else is making money, they go into their chat room and hate on them. You understand what I'm saying? Now, I'm going to keep it a buck with you. Somebody told me this and I got to say it because if I don't say it, then I'm fake. And this is a friend of mine, good friend of mine. Entonces, sabe, salud, la gente de Honduras. This is the thing, man. He said the same thing to me. He said, yo, hold up. You was down there and you had all the people in the chat. He was like, yo, son, because he was bragging. He was like, yo, you had over like 300 people in your chat at one time. I was like, yeah, I did. He was like, yo, you was covering that whole thing and motherfuckers didn't donate to you? I was like, yeah. I was like, yo, he said, yo, that's crazy. He said, I wouldn't even fuck with those people. I said, yeah, you right, but I done built the channel now. I was saying this in Spanish. I was like, I built the channel now. So, you know what I mean? It is what it is. But he's kind of right. And that's why I made a choice earlier that day, and I said whether or not I was going to cover the shit for you, and I said I'll go ahead and do it because I've been covering it so long on here. You notice how like 8 people just jumped up off of here? Yeah, man. Like, trust me, Sean. When I'm in front of you, my nigga, listen. I'm not no little nigga. Like, I look little, but when you get up on me, you gonna notice real quick. Damn, this motherfucker's like 6'4", arms dumb long. You gonna have a problem with me. Trust me on this. I done had big niggas prove this to them, small niggas prove it to them, white, black, polka dot alike. They think I've been this size all my life. You understand what I'm saying? So you learn to work with it. You understand? So yeah, don't be thinking like, I don't know. A lot of people be thinking that. They be thinking because they work out in the gym for a minute or whatever. It's your endurance, my nigga. I walk everywhere. I work out. So like, you ain't gonna be able to keep the same breath as me. And I smoke cigarettes. You understand what I'm saying? My teeth ain't crooked. Your mama's is crooked. And why you a grown ass man in here in the middle of the day looking at another man's mouth? Y'all niggas are like, listen, ladies, if y'all want to find out the emasculated men, the men that are gay and shit like that or whatever, but ain't letting y'all know, just look at my chat room. Any nigga that come in here looking at another nigga's mouth, that's the first thing he thinking about. Pay attention, ladies. Pay attention. Pay attention. I'm teaching y'all something. I don't even know you, homie. I don't know you. Hold on one second. Let's get these people up out of here. Somebody write perverted shit in here. Hold on one second, y'all. I don't trust no nigga that used the word yapping. That's what they used to tell us. That's what they used to talk about with the slaves. Somebody wrote, and see, that's the thing right here. I gotta take this one up right here. So somebody named CD, that's spelled CEEDEE, wrote, is it true that all black men are closeted gays? No, but I would say 61% of black women are, because that's what we got found out by the CDC. I would go as far as even to say a high encampment of Latin women and white women also in those demographics that we show. So it's more so, it seems like on a unilateral sense that women are more adapted to identifying with the LGBTQ than anybody. I'll give you a perfect example. Right before the pandemic started, they have one of the largest gatherings of that LGBT community in the world. They usually have a world festival for them, and they held it in different cities. That year, I think it was 2000, maybe 19, 18, something like that or whatever. They had it, and they chose to have it in New York City. Now, if you were in New York City at the time, you remember this, and it lasted all day long. They had like a parade that lasted to like probably 2, 3 o'clock in the evening. It went down Fifth Avenue somewhere over there. And then after that, they had subsequently all these festivals and, you know, celebrations and shit like that or whatever. You still see these people walking around even though it's 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock. You still gotta go do your business. You still gotta go here, you still gotta go to train station. So you're seeing these people if you were in that area in Manhattan. It was held in Manhattan. Only thing, and I guarantee you, most people will say this, and I'll even challenge you, go up and look at any of these gay pride parades or whatever. What you'll see most of the time is a whole bunch of black women. And I can't, like, I'm good with perception. You understand what I'm saying? I live in the New York City tri-state area, so I'm good with perception. And I know when I see an enclave of a certain demographic more so than the other one. It was my job to sell records. I've known demographics and taken demographics since I was, 20-something years old from my boss. So I sit back and I watch that and I'll say, okay, well, I don't see a whole enclave of black dudes out there. I see a whole enclave of black women out there. And I think what's happening is with the propulsion of African-American women being online and saying that is the reason why they can't find a husband or a boyfriend or whatever, is actually, it boils down once again to demographics. For every one man in general in the United States, there's at least 3 to 4 women. Within black culture and Latin culture, the women outnumber the men, specifically more so than they do in white culture. I don't know why this is, but it's the truth. If you go to CDC, you'll find this out right now. So within that demographic and within inside another demographic of being a minority, only being like, 14, 15% of the country, you have a very small skew as far as who to pick for a date. Also, keep in mind, those people that are already in relationships, those people that are already married, those people that might be in intergender relate, I don't know, whatever you call it, you know what I mean? And so the CDC is the Center for Disease Control. Yes, it's down there in fucking Atlanta, out of all places. Now, I don't give people shout outs. You give me a cash app, I give you a shout out. There's somebody else here talking about, can they get my, yo, homie, listen. If this is your first time here, I'm already in the process. I'm gonna block you anyway. But I just want to say this: you come here trying to crack jokes about my teeth, crack jokes on a nigga that ain't in the process of getting this shit fixed. Crack jokes on a nigga that refused to go get this shit fixed. Nigga, I have a video literally on my page here of me at the dentist as little as 2 weeks ago. You understand what I'm saying? I'll be back then in the course of I think another week and a half, 2 weeks or whatever. And I'm at a really high-end brand new facility. It's not even like I'm getting some real shit done. So you don't know what you're talking about. So like when you get people to come in here and they talk about shit like that or whatever, I don't live life for you. I don't even fucking know you. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't even know you. So anything you have to say to me don't even bother me. You know what I mean? That's why I haven't gone more. No, I think what you just did, shameless casual, is you just try to run some type of reverse psychology and circumnavigate around the conversation. That is not what I said. I said that if you look at the demographics from the CDC, I said if you look at the demographics from also, I think it was UCLA, that's the ones I read before, it's showing more so lending towards the fact that the women are involved more so with the LGBTQ movements or identify with it more so than the men. And I'm talking unilaterally. Black women, white women, and Latin women. Latin women and black women seeming to be the highest percentage, and the third highest percentage is white women. These are the demographics. So if you don't believe in those demographics, that's fine. Just don't try to use the same demographics when it's fine for you. That's my only point. You know what I'm saying? You can't say, oh no, I don't accept that, but I'll accept this from the same, sources. Like that shit don't make sense to me. You know what I'm saying? That's somebody trying to persuade you and lie. So when you circumnavigate around and you say, that's why we have a lot more gay males. No, that's why you have a lot more gay females now. You're not listening. And that's the problem with many of y'all. Y'all don't know how your comprehension skills are low as hell. There are more Black American women and Latin women in these cultures than there is men. For every one man, there is at least 3 to 4 women in Black, white, and Latin culture. This is a fact. Nobody's making this up. Nobody's exaggerating. This is what it is. And it has been that way for a while. You understand what I'm saying? So, and I'm talking about not 5 years, not 6 years, not 7. I'm talking about for like damn near 25 years it's been that way. And so the problem is when you couple in and you say, okay, well, these women, and I think that's the ultimate goal anyway, to get these women not procreating anymore or procreating with someone else so they don't make any more black males. These bitches don't even understand you under a different type of, what they used to call it, eugenics. You're on a totally different type of eugenics right now. The eugenics that they're using is, we'll stop the population by making the two genders split with each other. And we'll reward one gender, and we'll make that gender feel like they're superior, but the whole time, the only reason we're making them feel like they're superior is just one goal and one goal only, to deduce their birth numbers. If I can keep you concentrated on work, you're not worried about sex. If I can keep you concentrated on making money, you're not worried about sex. If I can sell you a narrative that you can do everything by yourself, including procreate, and if you want to use that example, you can say, oh, I can get my eggs frozen and then have a baby with whatever. You understand what I'm saying? It is what it is. I'm special ed. You think so? I hear you. I hear you. Chris Williamson. What are you doing right now, Chris Williamson? What are you doing right now? What are you doing right now? I'm special ed. What are you doing right now, Chris Williamson? You want to enlighten us? Nah. It's definitely not making money on YouTube because you've been here for 13 years and you ain't got no subscribers. That's sad. That's sad, my friend. That's sad. You got it. Don't worry about that, y'all. Those are people that go to their favorite podcasters and listen to their favorite podcasters scream about their cash app the whole entire broadcast, right? But since their favorite podcaster may not like me, they'll come over here and try to discourage people from donating to you. This is the way that blacks operate online, so you just have to accept it. They constantly get online and look for people to look just like them to terminate. It's just the way they are. Yeah, ain't nothing you're gonna do to change it either. It's embedded in them. Give me a second, y'all. Let's put something on my face. Face is dry out here. I don't know why you worried about a man and how a man wears his hat. Why would another man what time is it right now, guys? Let me see what time it is. It is 1:42. Can you tell me why at 1:42 in the afternoon? See, I make money here. My page is monetized. I've got products you can buy. I've got a Cash App right there. I got a PayPal right there. Hell, I'm making money. By the time I walk off from here, it's going to be at least 4 to 5 people to donate to me. My Cash App is not blocked. Hold on 1 second. Cash App is not blocked. Try it again. My Cash App is not blocked. Now, oh, I know what you're talking about. You're talking about the thing. Try it now. Try it now. You right. I forgot. They sent a thing because I did the update. So HF 2024, I had to go over and what's that? You right. You actually right. Nah. HF 2024, he's actually right. Yeah, they ain't paying attention. This nigga talking about a hat. This is a grown-ass man talking about why another man is wearing a hat. Boy, I tell you, these niggas sweeter than a motherfucker. Fake Adidas, yeah, man. Fake Adidas, man. I got the shoes that match, too. That's crazy, right? I got the fake Adidas that match, too, bro. You know what I'm saying? Fake Adidas hat, fake Adidas sneakers, fake Adidas sweats, all that, man. Everything fake, man. You right, man. You right, baby. You ever notice that? Black men always worried about what another man look like. I try to tell you, these men, they're just pathetic, bro. Still says error. Yeah, I hear you, man. I ain't your unk, motherfucker. Why you sitting around like these niggas is crazy. They are crazy. I'm gonna get up off of here in a second. That's all I really had to say. I don't sit around here with these goofy ass niggas. Somebody else, make sure you try to hit my Cash App. If you see something wrong with it or whatever. Says Davin has exceeded his food stamp quota. Damn, son, that's pathetic. Anybody want to laugh at that? He wanted to crack a joke. He said, Davin has exceeded his food stamp quota on my Cash App. That's where it said it at. You couldn't donate to my Cash App because you don't have any money. That's why, right? And then it says, Davin has exceeded his food stamp quota. Anybody think that's funny? Go ahead. Y'all can laugh in the chat. But anybody think that's funny? Anybody go ahead. I'll give it a second to marinate. Anybody think that's funny? No, you have to be focused on it because these motherfuckers being here doing all kinds of shit. Y'all don't understand. Like, y'all think it's just random people coming in here saying shit like this? No, these are people that have been served. I'm not your motherfucking unk. I don't know you. I don't know you. Anyway, long story short, now I'm gonna keep my knowledge to myself. I don't share my knowledge with niggas that want shit for free. That's the problem too with that whole group. They want everything for free. They wanted me to deliver. Listen, I ended live like this, right? Y'all saw me in person now, 5 times now? I've covered cases on here. I've gotten access to things that none of these other bloggers have gotten to. But because of their hate and because I don't talk like them, they want you to talk, like this is how most of them, not most, but I would say this certain segment, which is at like a 60% skew of Black America, they want you to speak like this. Y'all ready? This is how they want you to say. Now me, I'm not trying to act like I'm better than you or anything like that, but my upbringing is different than a lot of these guys on here that are listening to me. A lot of these guys, they had no men around them when they was growing up. All my family's military. A lot of these guys didn't have any male influences that were positive when they was growing up. All my family's military. My dad was around. He always made sure that something went on with me. I've been influenced by different people. You know, 37% of my state is Italian American. I grew up around a lot of Italians. I have Italians here on camera. The other day down at the fucking protest, I had Italian. You know, so that it's not that I don't have anything against the people, whatever. It seems like more so the people have something against me. So if you don't talk like this, and the Lord have mercy and child, ooh, Lordy, Lord. I'm sorry, my aunts don't talk like that. Many of y'all that are in here that are Black American or Latin American, your parents don't talk like that either. But for some reason or another, there's been this blanketed on society and media that everybody talks like that because these people are the front brothers and they're the faces for some reason or another. And I don't like that shit. I think it's disgusting. I think it's disgusting how someone from the bottom who used to be a stripper can get more attention than somebody that just graduated from Yale University, online or offline. You know what I mean? But that's what it is. You know what I'm saying? So for me, I don't really get into sharing any knowledge or anything else with these folks because that's not what they want to do. What they want to do is, I listened to a whole live the other night that this dude did, right? And he was talking about this one particular artist. Everybody know I ain't gonna stream the bitch's name or nothing. But because I feel a way about the bitch. Bitch tried to set me up for something. Or she might have been trying to do me a favor. We'll find out. But anyway, long story, that's why I'm keeping it 50-50. The bitch might be trying to do me a favor, or she might be trying to set me up. Who knows? But anyway, long story short, I watched these guys have this live. And when in live, within the live, they were talking about, yeah, we're going to bash her. Yeah, we're going to do, like, it was like strategically plotted shit. And I said to myself, I said, okay, this is the same way they orchestrate when they're going to attack anybody on their social media page. They group together, they say they center in, they create a premise, they create a narrative, and they say, hey, we're going to create this narrative and this premise about this person, and we're going on a day-to-day basis attack their page. This is why y'all see the trolls in my page. The problem they have with me is they've allowed or elected 3 or 4 motherfuckers that don't even know me in real life. Somehow or another linear the fashion that, what did this one broad call me? He's a Diddy loyalist. No, I'm a guy that like to see the law adjudicated, but this is how these groups and clusters of African Americans and Latinos and some whites, they operate nowadays online. They get into these little groups or whatever, and they make a decision about you, and they have a court online with their pitchforks and tiki torches and whatever. So let me just say this personally. If you don't resonate with me or whatever, from the bottom of my heart and my family, I really don't give a fuck. You know what I'm saying? Like, I really don't. Most of you, and all of you, I saw somebody made a fake page of me or whatever, but what did I say wrong? If your work history is Starbucks or McDonald's, and my work history is over, 5 different record labels, we are different. And there's nothing wrong with that. I think the problem is with this woke culture, and heavily emphasized by African Americans and Latinos, I think the problem with that is they want everybody to be the same. We're not the same. Where did you go to college? See, we're not the same. You know what I'm saying? What have you accomplished as far as work history? I worked at a record company for over 17 years. How about you? You see? And then the differences start to add up. And when I add those in, I add in BMG, I add in Arista, I add in Atlantic Records, I add in Interscope. You see what I mean? And so some people that haven't been successful, or i.e. unaccomplished, that's a problem for them. Oh, motherfuckers! That's the biggest hating point right now in existence right now, is we're going to tear down the music industry, but we're only going to replace the black ones, and that's what they're centered in on. And I'm not talking about white people. I'm talking about this is blacks. This is blacks. I will reiterate to you once again. On Friday, you guys can go look at the video right now, still up here. I edited it because it was a little bit too long for me. It was about 5 hours long. I realized, and I said, okay, I only was covering the trial for about 2 hours and 30 minutes. So I cut it down to a perfect place, and it should be available now if YouTube has decided not that they're gonna, because I needed that to be in the green because it had so many, what's the names on it? It was in red. It was deep in red. But you have African Americans on here that don't like other African Americans, and they highlight who they don't like. And that's why I said when I was down there in person, as you guys saw on the screen on Friday, at those 2 hearings for Luigi and for Diddy, and I was going back and forth between the courthouses, like literally going back and forth between the courthouses. And as you can see, Luigi Margione's hearing had a greater turnout. He's not going back to court to December 5th of this year, later on this year, December 5th. That's the next time you'll see a courtroom. So he's not going anywhere. So it was a big day, and all his supporters were out there. I got one particular girl on camera that I chopped it up. I'm going to re-upload it again, matter of fact. But it's there right now. Y'all guys can go check it out. It'll say pro Luigi Margione supporter shocks me with her answer. And she had ran me all this rigmarole about Luigi Margione and how she thought that his civil rights had been violated because Miranda rights hadn't been read to him, and I couldn't distinguish if it was in Pennsylvania she was referring to, because she said she was from Pennsylvania in the video, or was she referring to when he was born here to the New York City tri-state area. And so that was an argument right there, but I didn't argue with her about that. I just kind of let her talk, because that's how I do. I just let people talk. And so I let her talk or whatever, and finally I got to the point, I said, well, you know what, that's great, and I understand everything, and I wanted to see if she was a real person. And I said, well, what do you think about the act itself? Now, mind you, on this page, you guys know I was there the day, that's what I do. I'm everywhere the major media is. So on the day that this happened with Luigi Margione, I went straight there. And it's still on this, what's the name? You know what I'm saying? It's still on this page or whatever the case may be, so you can check it out. Hey, Yusuf, what's going on? So you can go check it out for yourself. Just put in my name, put Luigi Margione, all the videos that I've covered from him from day one when he did this. So that day I was down there, y'all hearing the camera, I was down there with one guy, he was from CBS, and another person that was from People magazine. They were covering it. And so, along with the other guys, but those guys I didn't recognize because a lot of times with the court stuff, it'll be different crews that come out. I think truly, I don't know that business that well, but I think truly they send different crews out for different stories. Because I notice every time that I'm covering the stuff at the courthouse, it's kind of always the same crews versus when I'm covering stuff in other locales, it's different people. So for that one, it did. But I was there. And so I put in effect, I asked the question again. I said, well, is anybody upset about this? Because the whole entire United States literally saw this man kill someone. How you doing? Literally saw this man kill someone. She was so fine. Well, y'all can't see what I see, but this girl was fine as hell walked past me. Anyway, long story short, I saw that there was a distinctiveness when Puff stuff came up and when Luigi Bongiorno came up, right? And the distinctiveness was this. I noticed that the African-American crowd, and we're with this girl, I'm going to finish off what I said with this girl first, and I'm going to segue. This girl, she ended up, when I asked, I said, well, how do you feel about Luigi Bongiorno and the actual act? And she said, huh? I'm sorry, I can't hear you. So I repeated it again. She said, huh? And I just walked off from her. I said, oh, this is going on. I was all up with you until you started lying. You understand? I don't like no motherfucking liars. I can't stand liars. I don't like thieves, and I don't like con artists. You understand? Because if you get a con artist that precedes you, now everybody else think you a con artist. You understand what I'm saying? That's why I'm always going hard on a lot of people on here online that be taking money from people and they doing absolutely nothing with it, but blowing smoke up your ass. You know what I mean? Telling you things and regurgitating the news and Google articles. A lot of these people that are in the African American community and in the Latin community solely have a purpose. Their purpose is to side with anything that make them fit in, because I have to realize these folks, some of them I'm talking about, come from a totally different background than I do. And as I'm getting older and older, I'm starting to recognize that, you know, a little bit more, whatever the case may be, how much of a difference it actually was. And it's sad, really, in some aspects, because it's like, Jesus Christ, you're 40 now, you're never going to get to experience anything. Not at this rate, not at the point you are now. You know what I mean? A lot of these people, they didn't even graduate high school. So what I'm saying? And these are the people that you're following on social media. I'm dead serious. There's podcasters that has been proven they didn't even graduate high school, but are authoritarian figures on everything under the blue moon sun because of Google. You understand what I'm saying? So if you choose to put your money into whoever you put your money into, I've never been the type to sit here and tell you, well, don't donate to this person, don't support this person, because I'm just not, that's just not my style. But there's something obvious here. If you're black and you're talking about somebody that's black, or you're trying to deduce or break down somebody that's black, you're going to get a lot of freaking donations for that. And that's what I was saying the other night. I watched this podcast. Literally, the only thing they were doing there was regurgitating and like literally making fun of a woman and bashing a woman. And the black community, they were donating hundreds of dollars for this. Hundreds of dollars. But I'm like, here's me. And this is my 5th time covering this. I've covered the Jonathan Majors trial. And maybe, may I add, I was in the courtroom sitting next to Jonathan Majors, first day, sitting next to Jonathan Majors, his girlfriend. Well, Jonathan was on the stand. Jonathan's security that you guys saw on camera with me like a million times, he was sitting right beside me, and then on the right-hand side of me, but one seat up in front of me, was Megan. She was right behind Jonathan. So they're right in front of me. I could touch Megan's hair. Her hair was dripping over the back of the bench there. And so I came outside immediately after the courtroom, because you can't film in the courtroom. So I came outside immediately after, and in front of like 3 or 4 bailiffs, I went live and told you guys everything was going on. You know how many donations I got that day? None. So it becomes apparent that the subscribers have a preference, and their preference is, if you're not bashing someone that looks just like them, like this guy right here, he ain't had nothing to say about Luigi Bongiorno, but notice he came up in here and said, all up Big Diddy. This is a man saying this now, the name of Willie, at 1:57 in the afternoon. Willie ain't got nothing going on in his life. Nothing. See, Willie, I'm here making money. My page is monetized. Whether nobody donates to me or not, I still make money. There's products down below that you could purchase, Willie, but I'm pretty sure you would be at home at 1:57 in the evening. You probably ain't got money to afford any of those products. The stuff at Sephora and the stuff I have at Macy's starts out around about $105. I understand. You understand what I'm saying? Also, Willie, let's see your history here on here. Let's see if you've been productive. Willie's been on here For 6 years, I got 2 subscribers. Okay, Willie, take care. Visit San Diego and nah, I'm good, homie. We don't do promo and shit. According to vertically, we aren't supposed to use words that harm one another. Oh, they do, they do. That's specifically what most blacks on here do. Most blacks, especially black dudes, uh, they're stuck in like the whole ghetto shit. They going around life thinking the rest of life is like that. So no matter where they run into another black man, he can have a 3-piece suit on, they're gonna equate it to some hood shit because that's what they know. That's what their single moms most of the time taught them. You'll notice that a lot of these men they react like their single mama did, and that goes for all races. I've seen white men that act like this. I've seen Spanish men act like this when they're specifically raised around a whole bunch of women. They act like women. They get upset about things like a woman does. So for me, like this man right here named Ryan. He wrote, my tip is leaky right now at 1:57 in the afternoon. That's a man that's raised by a woman. You know what I'm saying? No man, a man will know not to write that to another man. So like I said, there's a lot of differences I'm starting to see that are registering itself to me as far as when it comes to a lot of black men and black women. A lot of them are attentive nothing but to ghetto shit all the time. And anytime you got a group of people that's willing to bash on their own in more depth, and I'm covering both cases in person with Diddy and Luigi Maggione, both having cases at the same time, and your emphasis is on Diddy. And you got everything to say in my chat room about Diddy, but including here today, even after you heard a woman on camera with a group of other women that was in there, it was about 20 of them out there. The whole time we were sitting there, we're looking at these Luigi Maggione protesters and how they're saying he should be free. We got 2 vans riding around the corner talking about he should be free with his face in digital print superimposed on the side of the vans. And they looped around the block 6 times. I put these vans on camera. Not one African American man or woman had a thing to say. But when I went back over to the other courthouse where they were holding the Diddy hearing, all up, Diddy did it, did he not? You know, all these different things. So it shows you there's a certain group that would rather still be on the plantation. And I ain't into shining shoes. I ain't never been into shining shoes. I ain't into brown nosing. That's just not me. I don't change up my voice. Y'all see me in front of a sea of cops now. Like, literally, only thing they would have to do is put me in handcuffs and go, come on, let's walk upstairs. You know, if it came down to that. That's any man. But I'm just saying, that you see where I'm at. And y'all saw the other day when I was at the Luigi Maggione hearing, especially, more so than the Puff hearing. And all those guys, they know me down there. So, you know, I don't ever really have a problem with them. They allow me things that other people wouldn't. They don't allow other people. There goes another man here talking about baby oil. David said, do you carry baby oil in your water gun? Hey, David. Hey, girl. Hey, David, you gonna twirl for us, girl? Hey, girl. Hey, David. Hey, girl. Hey, girl. Everybody say hi to David. Hey, David. Hey, girl. David on the weekend stands on Fordham Road and makes choices without using a condom. All the boys love David. That's why he's in here in my chat room at 2 o'clock in the afternoon talking about baby oil. These are men that don't have nothing going on. I keep trying to tell y'all that. You got to learn how to distinguish them. You got to learn how to distinguish the niggas. Yeah, they can't take when you give them what they're giving. And it's the truth. It's the truth. So for me, like I said, after you've seen all that and your focus is still on Diddy, and I've been saying this for months, if not weeks now, I said there's a distinct difference that I see from 2 months ago when I was down at the MDC and I did a live down there after me, you know, visiting down there and everything. And I said at that time, I said, how is it Luigi Maggione, this was 2 months ago, keep in mind, was able to raise $500,000, yet in fact, the whole international community saw this man kill this person. You understand what I'm saying? And if you guys know my page, just put in my name, put his name behind it. You're gonna get a video of the date I was down there when it happened, with the rest of major media, like I always am. And I said, it seemed like to me that certain communities, especially the brown nosing communities, you know, there's a lot of communities out here that, you know, still think that white is right on everything. And so, even white men know this better. And so what they did was they said, well, we're gonna side with Luigi and we're gonna help him raise $500,000, even though the international community, and let's not front. If we're gonna use the same excuse for Carmelo Anthony, we're gonna use the same excuse for this motherfucker who raised $500,000 before Carmelo Anthony. And the difference between Carmelo Anthony and this guy is we actually saw what this motherfucker did. We didn't actually see what Carmelo Anthony did as far as the action. Now, if he's guilty, whatever. But the fact is, we got a lot of more evidence versus that. You know what I'm saying? So I hate, and I've always said this, and I say this from somebody that grew up. I always talk to you about this. I go to Italian restaurants. I'm taking y'all to both Little Italy's or whatever. I mean, don't you get it? I'm taking to Italian friend's house in Little Italy. I grew up around these people. And so when I show you guys that, you guys look at it and you're like, oh, man. Oh, man. Oh, man, he's over there with those white people. He's over there. You have all these racist tones or whatever to say or whatever. But when it's time for you to adapt some of those racist tones into the right place, you don't do it. Instead, you save it for your own. And that doesn't make sense to me. You save it for your own. And I think more so that's going to be more the discussion moving forward or whatever. Latin and black people seem to have only smoke for themselves. They seem to only want to hold in high regard and have the morality when it's themselves. They don't want to conduct themselves with morality. This goes for blacks and Latins because we got this skew of black and Latins that think every day is a video music shoot. Yo, my nigga, what's up, my nigga? Da, 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 da. Listen, in today's society, I mean, maybe 15, 20 years ago, I could have seen you doing that. It was a style. Nowadays, that shit is not consistent with life. You understand what I'm saying? You're not listening to anything I'm saying, are you, Gillian Brooks? Gillian Brooks is one of those type of persons that comes in and he tries to do reverse psychology and he thinks he's smart. So Gillian, let me give you an example one more time, Gillian. I'm talking to black Americans right now. And you can make the distinction of the example that I'm giving based on the fact that instead of being offline and maybe perhaps trying to get yourself involved in some kind of collegiate environment, you are in my trolling and not being beneficial. So take care, all right? How many followers you got? You've been here for 3 months and no subscribers. That's a troll account. Got you, buddy. Got you. Now, we don't do troll accounts. And this one keeps on throwing the emojis in here, the weird emojis. You got to go. Hey, from Utah. What's going on, Utah? He killed white kids at a track meet. What do we need to know? Wow, that's real racist right there. He asked me, am I racist? He just said some racist shit in there. Keep the truth live and direct. Thank you for your service, kind sir. Not a problem, Bob Smith. I've seen Bob Smith before. That's not true because I'm white and I don't support what he did. I didn't say that. Okay, so a couple of y'all a little slow. I didn't say that all white people support him. But what I did say was, and I backed this up. When I was at his hearing on Friday, and I superimposed them on camera so y'all would see that he had two black female supporters, and I believe it was four people that were Latino. Well, I say at least 3 that were Latino and possible. All right. So you had some minorities sitting up there and they were doing the advocacy right along with them. Now, a lot of times you'll get these type of, this is what I'm talking about. This is what I mean the difference between versus you've been reared around a certain demographic of people versus you trying to acquiesce yourself into a certain community of people. Now, let me tell you what I mean by that. If many of y'all don't know, the area that I live in here, and I'm taking y'all to her home where she grew up before and did a live there just because they were trying to attack her at one time. But Candace Owens is from right here in the area, in the town that I live in. A lot of people know that. I went to close town, I went to a home or whatever. The bulk of black women that are collegiate, and I underline that, that grew up with class and grew up in this like, unlike a lot of people, I grew up on the shoreline. So I grew up seeing, when I grew up, but for most of my adult life, I mean, my teenage years going into my adult life, I've seen nothing but the fucking sea, literally. And all my friends that I was around were either Greek, Italian, they owned the local pizzerias there. Their last days were stuff like Vacco, Papadonasio, you know what I mean? So, like, shout out to Chris, matter of fact. And this is all the big Charlie used to run one of the pizza joints out there for the longest time. And it broke our heart after that pandemic. Somebody bought that building. I wish if I would have had the money, I would have bought that place. This for memorabilia. Well, his father passed away not too long ago, whatever. We all remember Charlie, so R.I.P. to Charlie. The whole town loved him. But long story short, no, sir, I'm not. I think you got to mistake it. I grew up in an environment that was condensed to that environment and speaking the way that I speak, or however you say I speak. Versus you got a lot of other people, and I think whites and other people will start making this distinction a little bit more. You have white plains, yeah, so you get exactly what I'm saying. You'll start to get this. I'm not far from you. You'll get this. I'm right here in Connecticut. I'm in the southern part of Connecticut. Well, I used to live a little bit further out by the shoreline. Like when I say shoreline, I mean shoreline. Like we were a shipping area for the longest time back in the 1600s, 1700s, 1800s, shit like that. But so we're known as a shipping town. Anyway, long story short, with that being said, when you take African Americans and Latinos that have grown up basically reared in urban culture heavily, I want to simplify heavily. I'm not talking about clothing, I'm not talking about dancing, I'm not talking about music, I'm talking about you start trying to live that shit. You understand what I'm saying? What you have is you have people that are so embedded in that when they turn 18, 19 years old, and the only thing culture they've been around is their own. You understand what I'm saying? What happens is, no, you're just corny, and you don't understand what I'm talking about. What you have is when you have people that are embedded, and he said I used the word rearing wrong. When you're raised by a parent and what they teach you is called rearing. You see what I mean? They try to pretend like they're intelligent. That's called rearing. That's spelled Reering, okay? So to help you out there. Now, when you have certain rearing like that, what happens is you get people, and I got this one right here. He's going to try to come and interrupt me. Watch this, watch this, watch this. As soon as he walked up on me, he started talking loud. See him? That's their job. See what I mean? That's their job. That's their job. That's their job. So anyway, long story short, you have these ones when they turn about 18 years old, they start getting into society. And he stopped. You still don't believe me? Still don't believe me? I told you that's their jobs. That's their jobs. Only thing you have to do is just pay attention to their behavior. And you'll start understanding. I can smell it from a mile away. Back to what I was saying. That's weird, right? That's how I get it. So anyway, we're gonna continue the conversation. I don't give up the top. When you get a lot of these guys that are like that, they're very jealous-hearted. The women are the same way they are because women are jealous-hearted. So what they'll do is they'll do all kinds of weird shit instead of coming up saying hello to you. They don't have any pretty much currents of engagement outside of being street shit. So what I find is, and I found it a million times, I've been in situations where I will have someone that thinks they have the upper hand on me because they believe in the back of their mind that they went to wherever, and they learned how to acquiesce themselves and speak as you would consider white, which is usually forced and jarred. But anyway, long story short, you'll get these type of guys, and I've come into contact with them. I come into contact with them in the work environment many of times or whatever, and what these guys do is they try to compete with you on an aspect of aesthetics. They believe aesthetics is a zipper area over everything. Aesthetics. It's always aesthetics. So aesthetics means that they believe that if I dress this way, I'm going to be accepted. If I do this, I'm going to be accepted. What they find out very quickly is those same people you're trying to impress, they can distinct you because of the way you speak, your octave pattern. Oh, it's easy as hell. It's easy. We get people over here, well, I live at all the time from New York and some of the other, I hate to say it, poor areas in the state. And so you can tell very quickly, you understand what I'm saying, especially when they do that, hello, how are you? And most whites that I know are looking in your face like, are you fucking kidding me? You know what I'm saying? Like, the people I know and I grew up with, that's what they would call you out for. But when you get people that are reared in that, I think you usually get a certain type of temperament from them, and it's very quick to distinguish it. It's very quick to distinguish it. So I can point out when somebody's not from around here, you're not from Connecticut, especially this area. It's very easy because you try to force it a lot. And when you force yourself trying to brown nose, what happens is the same people you're trying to impress, they start to figure out about you, and they know you can be bought for cheap. Let's get this one out of here. Nah, you don't tell me what to do. Let's get this one out of here. Why do a lot of African Americans talk about slavery affected them? though it didn't happen in our lifetimes. Delta Blake asked that question. Yeah, make sure you hit the Cash App up too, guys. $ STRINGERBELL80. Also, there's products to purchase down below. Make sure y'all purchase some of those products to get a small commission off that. Also, if you don't have that, I also have a PayPal link below. And also make sure y'all hit the like button, subscribe if you haven't. If you like the commentary, let me know in a comment below in the chat room. Anyway, long story short, moving forward, I don't say that to insult anyone, but what I find is people that are usually in that temperament, they go out of their way to insult you. Or two, they want you to pay attention to them, which is really weird. I'm like, you want to impress me, but you don't want to impress the people that you're trying to impress. You don't have that same vigor towards them. Sounds like you're a little cowardly. Because I remember when I was working, one of the things that everybody asks me this all the time on here. In the 17 years I spent in the music industry and even the stuff that I'm doing now, with media, it's funny because y'all notice when I'm down at the courtroom, do I change the octave in my voice? When I'm talking to the cops down there, do I change the octave in my voice? Do I change my approach? Do I stop cursing? No, I don't do any of that. And you saw my buddy, he came outside the courtroom and was laughing and joking with me because he knew everything I was saying about Luigi was correct as far as his temperament was, but he's not a judge. He's just some bailiff. Point is, to answer your question, no, I don't believe that all white people are racist because I grew up around white people. I think there's even white people that will call out poor white trash, and I think it should be black people more so. It's like some of y'all in this chat room right now that would say we need to start calling out niggas or people that have niggerish behavior. It's a problem. It shouldn't be any reason why you see me and I see you and we don't look exactly alike, but you know what I mean in temperament, we do. And your first reaction is to try to stage someone up and basically look like a bitch at the club. You know what I'm saying? Trying to impress another bitch. You know what I mean? I mean, that's what it boiled down to for me. I grew up being a brother, so I don't, you know what I'm saying? I got sisters. I don't know how to equate to nothing but that. If you keep on that same temperament or whatever, all these delusions you guys have, and you say, oh, I got my own business, I'm doing this or whatever. No, it really come to fruition in the further realm. Trust me on this. I can tell you this for a fact. You're going to be a lone soldier. You're going to be like a lot of these rappers and CEOs or whatever. You're going to go visit Italy. You're going to go visit Ireland. You're going to go visit this place, that place. And you're going to be by your fucking self. You're going to be completely by yourself. And you're going to realize that. And you're going to say to yourself, well, why isn't my friend or this friend or that friend with me or whatever? Because you never put anything or implemented anything for them to make it towards that way of going with you. What do I suggest? I suggest that every last one of you motherfucking men out here to call yourself men, I think every last one of y'all, for one consideration, should be donating to my cause. That's for one. Two, I think you should watch what you donate to exactly. I think a lot of y'all are donating to frauds. I think a lot of y'all are donating to people that gossip a lot. I think a lot of y'all are donating to people and supporting people that don't have the best interests at heart. I think you're donating to a lot of people that lie. You understand what I'm saying? If anybody asks me what's my cause, it goes into consideration even more so. If you can't listen and evaluate or go back and do your own research with the 4,000 plus videos I've had on here for the past 5 years, and I'm telling you where to go to, then I don't know what to tell you. With an Immigrant, right? They don't want to work, sir. I will say for you one more time. I worked in the music industry for over 17 years. I now go on foot to 70%, when y'all say 70% of my lives is on foot or at a location. I do beyond what the average blogger do. The average blogger just sits in their room. But if it's any consideration to you, sir, and your fine morals, yeah, I got a guy here in my chat room listening to me at 2:16 in the afternoon talking about work. Sir, I do all right for myself. You know what I mean? I always have. And I guarantee I was in a better position at 20 or 21 years old than you were. But I will say this, right? You'll get two types of men to come in and say stuff like that. Men that are not doing very well in life. They always got a finger to point. And the second that you'll have is men that have done absolutely nothing in life. Some of these men right now are sitting in their girlfriend's apartment talking shit to you while they got a PlayStation 5 controller in one hand and a cell phone typing to me in another. Please believe that. A lot of these motherfuckers don't even have a set of keys. They got to wait till the girlfriend get home to let them in. I better learn. Let's get this one up out of here. We don't do key with guys in here. Some other man in here looking at a man's lips. Any man you see in here looking at a man's lips or a man's mouth, that's a man that want a man. That's what that is. That's a man that want a man. What do you think about, I don't know. I don't think nothing about Gucci Man. Shout out to Gucci Man. Yeah, Hold on 1 second. I'm just getting the people out of here. Give me a second, y'all. There's another nigga in here talking about daddy chill. Do I follow politics? Yes, I follow politics. I think more so than anybody else. I was at Trump Tower the day that he won. I can also find that on this page. That's why I said, if you're a new subscriber, please go through my catalog, specifically on my lives, not the shorts first. I know a lot of you guys find your way here from my reels and my shorts. Don't go there. Go. Some of the stuff I clip up, but most of it is involved in my lives. My lives usually go for like 3-4 hours or whatever. I'm always on foot, so I work for my money. You know what I mean? And I pay the expenses traveling. I live in Connecticut. I don't live in New York. So our traveling expenses, you can't get something to eat down there under $15. It's going to fill you up. Or you're going to be back there 15 minutes later, you know? And for some reason or another, they find that the person that is sitting in their bedroom talking like a slave off the plantation, talking about, oh, Lordy, 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 ooh, we child, this a mess, this a mess. Those people are more valid in the black community. That's who they donate to. I watched the podcast just last night, and they literally said, we're here to bash this person. And they had over 340 something people in their chat room joining along and donating. I'm talking about big money, $50 here, $60 here, $80 here, etc., etc. I'm watching it from the super chats. And I'm like, wow, this much money is invested when you're bashing your own, but that much money is not invested when you're trying to bash, and nobody says nothing about Luigi Mangione. Yeah, I'm not allowed to bring a phone and camera into the studio, not nowadays. They used to, like, if you go on my page, just put my name in and put Daddy's House Recording Studio, and you'll see a whole shitload of what's the name. That's DAVINLEWIS, and then put in Daddy's House Recording Studio. You should have about like 8 videos that pop up. You understand? That was a couple years ago, so they used to allow you to do that. Not no more. Nowadays, I think a lot of people worry about social media coverage, and I think that's more important to them than anything. So I think they think you're going to clip it, or it's going to be some artist in there recording a new project or whatever. So they prefer for you not to. You know what I mean? Like, when I go to the studio, I'm like, y'all gotta realize these are people I've worked with before. You know what I'm saying? That's why I tell y'all, go watch my videos from Quad Studios or whatever. Somebody that's sold music before, unlike a lot of people. So I've actually sold music, so it ain't a hobby. And being attached to a record company didn't hurt. And I've recorded at Puff Studio, Quad I've recorded at, Sony Studios I've recorded at. They're all on this page. So just put my name in, DAVINLEWIS, and just put those behind it, they'll come up. But being somebody that did that or whatever, I can tell you, yeah, that's pretty much what it is nowadays. You got a lot of people that like are doing social media clips or whatever. Yo, check out this sample from, you know, his upcoming song. That's how they do Kanye a lot. That's why he be frustrated. Frustrated a little bit more than I'm frustrated. I ain't never been that motherfucking frustrated. I got friends that are from that community. So, you know what I mean? I ain't going there. Lenny Kravitz is half Jewish. Diana Ross lives, I tell people all this, less than 25 minutes from here. Her daughter, Tracy Ellis Ross, has been a topic of discussion. She's half Jewish. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, you far from having me as a racist on here. Yeah, that ain't gonna happen. Biker gangs, I know some black biker gangs. You just not. See, that's what I said. You got people, and it goes back to what I was saying again. Biker gangs, how often have you lived around white people? Watch this. How often have you lived around whites? What's your name? Echo One Victors. Did you live around white as a child? I'm just asking. For you to make a statement, biker gangs are mostly white, I don't agree with that. I would say biker gangs can be any color they want to possibly be. I've seen biker gangs. We got one biker gang that's still, well, several. If you know Brooklyn, you know what I'm talking about. Where's Brooklyn at? Brooklyn, if you in here, you know what I'm talking about. You've seen these people down there before. They've got guys down in Brooklyn that have several different motorcycle clubs. You have guys in the Bronx that have several different motorcycle clubs. And I'm talking about the choppers. I'm not talking about street bikes. You have, if you go all the way back to the 60s or 70s, you had a group that was called the Chingalings. You understand what I'm saying? Ask people about them. They were out of Brooklyn. So, you know, you got a whole bunch of Latin and black motorcycle gangs that are nationwide. You know what I'm saying? Including Chicago and everywhere else. So I don't know where you got most of them are white or whatever. You talk about the Hells Angels, you mean the ones that are most recognized. That would make sense. You know what I'm saying? But I can literally show you some in Harlem, Brooklyn. I might even do that. Matter of fact, I got some posts I can throw up for y'all. I'm gonna throw up for y'all, show y'all some black bikers. All right, because I was around some. And if you watched my posts this year earlier, y'all saw me around them. You know what I mean? These are people I know. Yeah, you say grew up in California. You are right. There are black folks, Irish in California. I see mostly white. I hear you right. California would be that. How could I leave that out? The Rough Riders, right? Everybody said I look like DMX. I left out the Rough Riders. Biker gang. Cheryl, is it thunderstorming over there? Nah, it's not here. It's nice here today. ICE, modern day Gestapo. Why do they not deport gang members from biker gangs? Because those gang members of biker gangs are American. I guess. I don't know. That's my best example of it. I would say, see, this is my thing. And like I've covered this from the Row Hotel and a couple other places. I don't have a problem with immigrants. My father's an immigrant. What I have a problem with is this immigrant that you're getting now is not the same immigrant that you had 30 years ago. And I'm talking about from a multitude of different countries. A lot of people like to superimpose that it's just Latinos coming through with the migrant thing, and it's not. There's people from Africa, there's people from India, there's people from Japan, there's people from China, there's people from a lot of different locations that showed up. You understand? And I talked about many times how the money was being misappropriated. I was one of the first people that talked about how the money was going to run out. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to see if I can find that, and I'll pass that up. I don't think that all the migrants are criminals. I think that's stupid to say. What I will say is this. I think that the contingency of the ones that I covered, like with the police, I did a reenactment and showed y'all in front of the police, as a matter of fact, and they told me thank you, if y'all remember, a reenactment of when they attacked that police officer there in Times Square. I also followed through and I did a reenactment, or not reenactment, but I did a retrace of the shooting that happened from this 15-year-old migrant kid and one of the stores that was literally steps from that same location. I covered both of them. I covered when they were down there at the island. I forgot what the hell, Randall's Island. They were down there. I went down there. You know what I'm saying? So I've covered this stuff before. I covered it in detail or whatever. So you just, like I said, go through my catalog and you'll see me. I'm in the New York City tri-state. I'm in Connecticut, though. I live in Connecticut. So anyway, long story short, I say this all, and I'm going to get off because I got to charge my battery. I say this all just to say to you this. I think Puff deserves the excuse and the liability of and can be held liable. But liability, yes, it's a question. But I think Puff should be able to use the same excuses to end us all. Because I'm talking about immigrants. I think Puff deserves the excuse of being said, hey, if I was alleviated, if they were mentally incapacitated, then I was too. And I think that's fair. And I think that's something, I'm not sure Judge Savarinian will go on that one, you know what I'm saying? But I would think that because the God of the girls, aren't they using the same excuse? I was alleviated. I was taken advantage of because I was drunk. There was drugs in the baby hole. I've heard all these stories. So I'm saying if it's good for the goose, why it ain't good for the gander? You know what I mean? That's how I feel about it. Thanks, Delta Blake. I appreciate it. No, it's nothing like that. That's why I pointed that out. I said it's nothing like 30 years ago. Yeah. I mean, you got to understand too, right? A lot of, and I'm talking about all of them. That's why I say I don't like to superimpose, because people, when they talk about the immigrants, they want to talk about and superimpose on Latinos. And I'm like, it's not just Latinos. It's people from multiple different countries coming. And unless you're here in the New York City tri-state, you wouldn't know that. But we have people from Africa, China. China has something with one of the Latin countries. And I don't want to say it's Venezuela, or it might be El Salvador, where they can actually fly into there because of the treaty that they have with them. Now, this is real talk. So they'll actually fly into Venezuela or wherever. And then from there, they'll make the trek from there into America. You understand what I'm saying? And this is from Chinese nationals. So you can look that up or whatever, it'll come up for you or whatever. But there's a lot of different groups that were inclusive in that whole migrant batch that we got. It wasn't just Latinos, and I hate that everybody just points out and says it's Latinos. It ain't just Latinos, it was a little bit of everybody. You had people from England inclusive in some of the migrants they don't talk about either. So yeah, I will say that being that my father was an immigrant, I will say that much. Yeah, it's definitely a difference. Who said that? Echo Vickers? That's how you say your name? It's definitely a difference, I would say, from the 80s and 90s or whatever. I just don't like when everybody superimposes and says, oh, it's just Latino immigrants. No, it's not just Latino immigrants. It's African immigrants, Middle Eastern immigrants, Asian immigrants. It's a whole bunch of them. We saw them firsthand with our own 2 eyes. I'll share some of those lives. I gotta look them up because they're so old now. I haven't covered that stuff in a minute. I think it's been a couple of months. I even did one up in front of Trump Tower about it. Yeah. See what I'm saying? Yeah, it's a big difference. He said I'm second generation. It's a big. Even those immigrants then, they were nicer or whatever. A lot of these migrants that you have coming here now too, you got to understand if you're somebody that's black, a lot of these people have never seen anybody black in their life. You understand? So a lot of times when you think like they're racist, they're not being actually racist. They're just confused. They're shocked. There's this assessment of, I don't know what to say it. It's like some kind of like fucking, I don't know how to really put it. It's like some type of distinguishing what they're seeing for the first time. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I'm not justifying anything like that. Some of them are racist, even including the ones from Africa. You know what I mean? Yeah. I appreciate you. I'll make sure y'all hit that Cash App, man. Give me a coffee or something. Matter of fact, I want to eat some breakfast. I mean, I didn't say breakfast, did I? All right, y'all. Y'all know how I do. I got to go. You understand what I'm saying? Yeah, that's true, man. That's what's up. Yeah, I don't stay here after 2 hours, man. If anybody hitting up the Cash App. Anybody want to hit up the Cash App, I'll continue. If not, I'm going to charge my phone and go on about my day or whatever. I just came here to do this one real quick. Make sure y'all guys know what was going on. Excuse me, buddy. So I just came here to do this one real quick to let everybody know what it was or whatever. You know what I'm saying? But after that, you know what I mean? I ain't, yeah. I appreciate that, God Cats. I appreciate that. Who got me on lunch, man? I be working hard. That's why I be like embarrassed when people be on here. So I'm like, hey, I'll be like, dude, you don't know how much I bust my ass doing this shit. Like, I really bust my ass. You know what I'm saying? And nobody, I don't know if they do it out of hate or whatever the case may be, but you'll find very quickly that nobody, like they've been told by so many different bloggers or whatever, because really those bloggers are jealous because they ain't in the same spaces I'm in. If you're in California, you can't be in the same space I'm in. You know what I'm saying? So it is what it is. But I'm going to let you guys go because like I said, after 2 hours, I don't get no support. I got to go. And I see niggas are sitting in their bedroom and not doing half the shit I'm doing that they getting paid. So y'all have a good day. I'll talk to y'all.